and it is great to have in studio with us boxing legend George Foreman, who is here on behalf of the Real-Time Pain Relief, George Foreman's knockout formula. And I'm sure that many years in the ring, you got a couple of aches and pains that came out of it. Welcome. Good morning. It's great to have you here. How are you, George?
I'm doing great, especially with that real-time George Foreman knockout formula, pain relief. I'm feeling better all the time. I thought old aches were going to be with me forever, but now I can rub them away.
You know, George, you never change, man. You never change. You're always the same, and it's great, and it's great to see you again. And you were telling me he's actually hitting the bag now.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah, I was hitting that punching bag and for over like 20 years now. I'm always sore, and I thought, I'm going to have to live with this. But I just decided I'm going to try some of that pain relief formula. 20-year ache disappears.
Just like that.
And I can hit that bag now. I'm ready. Not for a comeback, but I'm ready.
I was going to say.
I'm going to put some of this on my knees when I play hockey.
It really works. It really works.
You should stop hitting the bag at your age.
I should do something else.
I would think so, but I think you also enjoy life pretty good, don't you?
Yeah, life is so good. I've got, 14 grandkids.
Wow.
3 great-grandkids. And 10 kids I've had.
You ever forget any of their names?
Oh, all the time. I named them George. Everyone's name is George.
I know. That's why I asked.
Yeah, you let Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier hit you on your head. See how many names you can come up with. How many names you're going to remember.
Oh, that's awesome. That is great. It's amazing. I was telling George, I'll tell you on the air now that my buddy here, Gio, is falling in love with Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
I want you to see CBS Sports Network. We'll put a picture up here so you can see what this looks like and show you just the closeness that he has with the American heavyweight that we both actually really do like and admire. So what do you think of the heavyweights?
It's back.
It is back.
It's back.
There it is right
That's
there.
the two of us right there. It was a very loving embrace, yes. That was his idea.
Got you wrapped up, but I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, it is,
An American heavyweight champion of the world.
Right.
And he's not from anywhere but here. He can tell you that.
Tuscaloosa, Alabama, man. And
I mean, deep south. And a right hand that will cream you, put you to sleep.
Yep.
Talking about pain release. Pain release this time, not relief.
Yeah. Gio's going to go to his fight against Ortiz in Vegas here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to be out there. I'm going to see that fight. And it was a great first Ortiz-Deontay.
So this time it's going to be balanced.
Yeah.
Ortiz now know, hey, look, I can go 10 rounds with this guy. I can beat him.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a toe-to-toe fight in the end.
Well, I really hope that Deontay wins because if he doesn't, it's going to take a lot of the juice out of a Wilder-Fury rematch, which is really what everybody wants to see.
Don't put the juice. I mean, that's what happened with Muhammad Ali, the second, Joe Frazier Ali.
Yeah.
It's going to be the biggest fight forever. Then Joe Frazier faces me, and down goes... It wasn't George that time.
Yep.
And he goes down 6 times, and it just rained on everyone's parade.
Yeah.
So don't expect the expected.
Right, especially in boxing. As we talked to the great George Foreman. All right, so you make the transition out of your career into being a pitchman and being a businessman, and it doesn't work for everybody. But
you got to sell. If you're not gonna, I heard a lady speak once. She started this perfume. I forgot the name of it now. But anyway, she said, my dad told me if you learn to sell, you'll never starve.
Yeah.
And you can box forever and have all the purses in the world, but money has a way of just bye-bye, baby.
Yes, exactly.
So, but you got to learn to sell to avoid starving.
Well, listen, you sold. How many George Foreman grills were sold?
Right when I sold the company, it was like 150 million of those things.
That is unbelievable.
Now, when that
because it works.
Right,
they work.
Yeah. Right. So when that starts, I'm sure you thought you'd have some success. You had success in everything in your life. But did you have any idea?
No. I thought they said, look, this thing worked, George. I expected about 16 of them for myself, one for my mom, my aunt, my cousin. You know, I didn't expect those things to sell. I looked up and there was, a million sold. I said, what? And they said, 2 million or what? And it just went on and on and on. I never expected that grill, but it works.
Yeah,
I had one or two.
Yeah, we all had them.
Yeah,
we all had them in college and everything. But the thing about it is, right? All the college kids have them. But no, it was your personality that got people to pay attention to it. And out of all the athletes, there are a lot of guys like Joe Namath, he was a big promoter and everything else. But I don't necessarily know that there will ever be another athlete as successful as you were with that grill. Maybe you will be with this real-time pain relief. I'm not sure.
But the pain relief is a product that works. And athletes especially, and especially hairdressers. You see some of the women who do the hairdressing, their knees are always aching. I used to feel sorry for them. I use this. Finally, I've got something that works. And women can use it on their knees. And guess what? My kids come over, the grandkids, and they want to play with me. If you smell like Grandpa, they're not coming back. They'll say, hi, Grandpa, and run away. But this stuff, you put it on and you smell nice and look like the kids. Hi, Grandpa, and they hang around you for a moment. It doesn't smell.
Oh, that's great. No, I would think like today's athlete, like Shaq reminds me of like the next coming of George Foreman, right?
Oh, Shaq is something else. Huh?
Yeah,
bigger than life. I love him.
Yeah, he's like you. He's got a huge personality. Everybody loves to be around him and everything. That's
he's
a big
happy.
part of it. Yeah. Seems like he's happy. I mean,
you can't beat old Happy.
No, you
Get
can't.
old Happy out there. Who can beat Happy?
Nobody. George Foreman in studio with us on Boomer and Gio. So you fight into the late 90s. You're 48 years old when you're doing this. I mean, I cannot imagine. So I'm 37, and Boomer says I walk like I've got scoliosis every day. I'm walking around, aching and pains. How did you get yourself in that level of shape at that age to compete at that high level? I mean, was it just your natural athleticism that allowed you to do it? Or did you have to work so incredibly hard to get into that type of
So hard. My wife sometime would drive me maybe 17 miles away from home, drop me off, and say, get back the best way you can. And I love that lady so much.
Yeah.
I said, I got to hurry back and get to her so I can spend some time with my wife. And that's what it was.
Really?
She dropped me off and I just run it. 17 miles. Can you believe it?
When you got back, she was like, damn, he made it back again.
Yeah, she was like, you back again? But I was quickly back. And that conditioning is what helped me. I didn't get hurt.
Right.
I was always in shape. Even now, I got a muscle or two.
How did you stop from like keeping yourself from eating? Like
I didn't. I never was successful in that.
Yeah,
I love to eat. I'd eat, and my wife tells me right now, it's soup day, George. It's soup day. That means nothing but soups.
Yeah.
And I said, whatever. If I'm gonna hang out with her, I got to eat what she say. Eat. So that's helping me too. But in boxing, out of those cheeseburgers, they said, George, you're never gonna be heavyweight champ of the world as long as you eat eating a dozen cheeseburgers. So I stopped and ate 11.
Well, when you're a heavyweight, man, you're working out like that. You can eat like that.
And you love to eat. And I'd get in these massive workouts because of my appetite. I could eat.
So I'm sure everybody throughout your entire life is going to ask you about, fighting Ali, fighting Frazier, and all of those. How about something that's not, common knowledge during that time, like, maybe Rumble in the Jungle or leading up to a fight, Muhammad Ali? Like, what's a memory of Muhammad Ali during your prime that, maybe sticks in your mind but isn't talked about as much?
Well, Muhammad Ali, he had this reputation of psyching people out. Mm-hmm. He's always going to psych someone out. So in Africa, we never met. There never was a press conference and people say, he psyched you out. I never saw the guy until fight time.
Yeah.
So someone had told him a story. Maybe I'd repeated it earlier, courting a girl. And so we're in the ring and I'm staring him down. And he dropped his head. He said, George, you don't belong in here. I was heavyweight champ of the world when you were in high school. And I almost started laughing because I'd never had one day in high school. Someone had told him wrong. I almost laughed. Yeah. And I'll never forget that because he was certain that was going to psych me out. I was like, man, who told you I went to high school?
Yeah, I never heard that story. I did hear
True story. Right in the middle of the ring. That was the only conversation we had.
I read where you said that he was by far the quickest fighter, though, that you fought.
Yeah, he hit me with the most fast right hand I never saw.
Right.
All I can remember, I lost track, boom, I'm on the floor. And the referee's 1, 2, and when I jumped up, I was no more champion of the world, and that hurt. Wow. Devastated me for years.
Yeah. Really?
Because I was certain I could beat anybody. All I needed was this or that.
Right. Well, that's the part that a lot of people don't talk about when in the fight game is the mental aspect after losing, because you've got so much confidence, especially as the champion.
Never lost.
Right.
So never lost. So you think of yourself, you go into the room and you're the heavyweight champ of the world, and everybody knows they can feel you.
Yeah.
Then afterwards, people are in the airport who wouldn't look you in the eye with passion, pat you on the back. Oh, champ, it's going to be okay.
Yeah, right.
Man, that's hard to live through. You wake up in the night trying to beat the count again.
Yeah.
You beat the count. until 20 years later, after that fight, I became the heavyweight champ of the world again. And that's the only time I could, sleep.
20 years, man.
He put me to sleep for 20 years.
Talking to George Foreman. How about a fight that isn't talked about as much that you have a memory of? Is there one out there?
Yeah, the one I told you about, the most courageous fight. This guy was told, you can knock George out. He just got money on him. And so the guy came out, was crazy, staring at me like a bull. And so the fight started, and I said, I'll teach you. And I swung and missed him by a foot. And he held me, almost broke my back. The ref said, break. And I did it again. And I missed him by 6 inches. And he almost broke my back. Break. This time I missed him by an inch, and he fell. Boom. And he said, later on, I was so disappointed. People throwing candy wrappers. Boo! Boo! And later on, he saw me sad. He said, you really wanted me to get up? I said, yes. He said, you wanted to kill me? I said, yes. He said, that's why I didn't get up. I'll never forget that.
So he fainted in the ring, and you didn't even hit him.
I didn't even hit him. So that was one fight I'll never forget because the guy really thought he could beat me until I missed him by an inch.
Who was that guy?
Aaron Eastland.
Wow. Aaron Eastland.
I'll never forget him.
What a coward that
He just messed up my after party. And later on, I laughed because I thought he was right. Yeah. I was going to hurt him.
Oh, sure.
Hell, I wouldn't get up either, man. See the size of his fist?
Oh, it's unbelievable. I know.
Oh, man. Sledgehammers. Who's the hardest guy that ever hit you?
I fought a guy by the name of Ron Lyle from Denver, Colorado. He hit me so hard, it didn't even hurt. It was like, what am I doing down here on the floor?
Wow.
And I got up, he knocked me down again. He beat me so bad that actually he fainted and I won the fight.
Really?
He beat me up bad. He kept knocking me out. I felt like someone's rag doll.
Wow.
He got the best of me. Now, Muhammad Ali, he clipped me, but I felt like, I was going to get up. But this guy was like, why should I get up?
Yeah. Do you ever think that we're going to get to a point where boxing is on the top of mind of sports fans like it was when in your heyday? Like, we got to get to that
boxing,
point?
We have so much controversy, and that's the good thing about boxing.
Yeah.
After every boxing match, you're going to be a lot of stories. Boy, this shouldn't have happened. Yeah. He blew it. He threw it. I mean, that's what makes us the outstanding sport. But it ought to be. We need a sport like that. Boxing should never, as long as there are truck drivers, there will be good boxing matches.
You know the writer Thomas Hauser? Do you know him?
Yeah, it's a great one.
Right. So I was interviewing him the other day with Jerry Cooney, and I was asking him the problems with boxing. And he was like, it's the ABCs of boxing. Nobody knows who the champ is, what belt they wear. There can never be, it never seems like there's any unification. Is there anything that can be done to actually bring it all together or no?
I don't think so. You just got to come alive in the imagination of the fans, like Tyson.
Right.
He was no more than any other guy, but when he hit you, everybody saw it. And finally they said, that's the heavyweight champ of the world. Muhammad Ali, he didn't have the best
fight. The fans know who the real heavyweight. It doesn't matter the belt that you have.
Don't worry. Muhammad Ali, he kept talking, but he was the heavyweight. He clipped George Foreman. And, of course, myself, Floyd Patterson, and it's going to happen not by organizing it. It's by one terrific puncher. And we're looking for that. Maybe Deontay Wilder is that guy. He can hit. Woo!
But here's the problem, though, is after that Fury fight, which was an incredibly entertaining fight. They needed to make that rematch right then. And they didn't.
And then Fury gets another promoter is basically what happens.
Yeah, Bob Arum. He signs with Top Rank and Bob Arum, and it screws the whole thing up. But they had the nation's attention after that fight. It. When Deontay knocks him down, and then he gets up like The Undertaker, and then it ends up being a draw in the way that it was, the rematch had to be made, boom, right then and there. And now we're sitting, what? How long has it been? Over a year, and we still don't have a date on that fight.
And I don't think there will be another fight with those guys. One's scared and the other's glad of it.
Right, yeah, I know. You're going to have a Ruiz, though. You're going to have a Ruiz and Joshua rematch, though, right?
Yeah, and that was incredible. Andy Ruiz.
Now, that's a rematch that everybody's looking for, and I think Joshua, the Muhammad Ali 2, when he fought Spinks in New Orleans, he jabbed and held. And if AJ does the same, he'll recapture the title.
You think he will?
Think so.
Yeah, you got to imitate that. Right. Grab and hold.
What's the chances of Wilder ever fighting AJ?
Anthony Joshua, yeah. I mean, I think that he's got to have Fury first. And then if Joshua beats Ruiz in a rematch, and then you get the Fury-Wilder rematch, and the winner of that, faces Joshua.
Yeah, it'll all happen when they are really using that George Foreman real-time pain relief. I mean, they're going to have to get a little older first. Right. That's when everybody start thinking, let's fight.
Right.
When everyone's older.
Can you rub this on a bruised ego? Does it work for that as well?
No, you're just going to have to go home and let the dear wife pat you on the back.
All right, so one more question I wanted to ask you.
Sure.
Because there's a community of boxers and people, they love the sport or they don't love the sport. But when there's a lot of friendships that are made through boxing. Did you ever have to beat the you-know-what out of a friend of yours?
Not with me, because all I needed was one shot.
Yeah.
And it was like, boom, I love you, son.
Good night. I always think about that. Like, you train with a guy, you get to know a guy, and then you're in the ring.
The hardest thing, I grew up, I even always loved the Muhammad Ali. Even Cassius Clay in the poems, and we'd all imitate him.
Right.
And when it was time to fight, I had to really psych myself up because I loved that guy.
Yeah.
And I had to hate him for a moment.
Right.
And that hate went on for a long time until I realized his joy over the years. Friends. You can become the best friend. That's why we hug after a boxing match.
Right, absolutely. So
lots of hugs.
Where can I get this? A CVS or a Walgreens?
Yeah, right now call Amazon.
Okay,
just
Amazon.
Tap, it'll come right to your door. The stuff really works.
Amazon Prime, the George Foreman real-time pain relief, the knockout formula.
It's the knockout formula. And it will not drop you.
Don't ever change, man. Don't ever change. Just be yourself. But, man, I'll tell you what, it's awesome.
Boomer's the real hero, though, huh?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, man.
Of course he is.
Man.
Well, I think he's talking about your work with the foundation and everything.
Man, I'll never forget that when that went into action. I thought he won't last long. Now, all of a sudden, it's all happened.
Yeah,
Pieces are falling into place, and now he's going to have all of us following in his footsteps.
Well, I appreciate that, George. Very nice.
Thank you. Pleasure having you here, George.
Thank you.
Awesome.
George Foreman on The Fan.